This is Queen Taese on the Liberated Minds frequency. Love the journey. Our culture is our cure. We live in that liberation lifestyle. We as African people are the power source of the planet. Our children are our greatest investment. They are spiritual giants that come here with a divine purpose. The only way to predict our future is to create it. This is Queen Taese on the Liberated Minds frequency.
This is Queen Taese, the Queen of Black Homeschooling, coming to you from the Liberated Mind, Black Homeschool and Education Expo. And today, we are riding on the Liberated Mind frequency. You know how we do, taking it out the structure here. Today, we have special guest, Uriah, Yisrael, who will be a guest this year once again at the 2020 9th Annual Liberated Minds Black Homeschool and Education Expo. Welcome, Brother Uriah. This is how many years now? 3, 4 years that you've been a part of this?
At least four. At least four.
At least 4. And let me tell you, his master class is called Let's Grow. And what better time than right now with everything that we're dealing with, everything that we're facing, that we incorporate growing food, agriculture, gardening in the curriculum of our children, of our family, of our life, of our lifestyle. When we're talking about liberation, this is definitely at the core. Am I correct?
You're absolutely correct, Queen. There's many reasons why, you know, if I may. First of all, I want to thank you for inviting me here for this wonderful interview. I love what you're doing. I'm a big fan of Liberated Minds, and I love it. Just keep on going. Our children.
About yourself. Tell us a little bit about who you are, because you've been doing this. This is, you know, this is generational wealth right here that you're passing down.
Yes,
so
ma'am.
Let us get a little background about how you got started, how this got passed through your family lineage, because I think that also goes into the aspect of your level of expertise and knowledge around what you're going to be speaking about in the perspective as well.
That Queen, that's an excellent point. You know, agriculture is in our DNA. You know, we are people that love life, you know, and so this is in our DNA to care for the earth, to take care of it, to take care of our bodies, our children, even animals. We just are in tune with their frequency, and we love, this is what we do naturally. So who better to be in charge of growing your family's food? You mentioned my father and my mother, both were sharecroppers from a small city in Chattanooga, near Chattanooga, called Ottawa, Tennessee. And my father loved growing food. He loved the outdoors. He loved animals. He could identify birds and animals by their tracks, by their sound, by their songs. And so when he moved to Boston, Massachusetts, where I was born and raised, we had a gigantic urban garden in the city of Boston, in Roxbury. And it was before urban agriculture became hip. Our parents, wherever we moved, we already had our gardens. We were always growing food in our yards, growing our collard greens, our okra, having chickens. When we came from the islands, we had chickens, we had goats. So this is nothing new. So it seems that we've kind of like strayed away from the way that our parents.
And a lot of people do say, you know, gardening reminds me of sharecropping. It reminds me of slavery, you know, and people want to move away from it. We've moved so far away that a lot of times our children don't even know the growth process of the foods that they eat, like how they grow, the seasons they grow in. So it's really taken us far off course in terms of connecting with the environment And now a lot more people are looking in that direction because we're learning the importance of our food source, being in control of that. So tell me, what do you think about that opinion that people have in terms of sharecropping and reminding them of slavery and those types of things?
Yeah, and so that's one reason why that is a prevalent concept with our people, is that, like, I don't want to be outside in the sun with those bugs. It's hot, I'm sweating, hold up my hair, my nails. So
Yeah.
so what I did is, that's the reason I published Let's Grow, is because I needed to show that we were more than just the labor force. We were the innovators and creators of many systems that you see in America's food system. We were the creators of the refrigeration unit. We were the creator of different food restaurants that you see today, all this chicken and all that. That was us.
Yes.
We started all this as entrepreneurs.
And even the irrigation system, right?
Yes, even the irrigation systems.
Yes.
So, like, you know, we brought all this knowledge, and today we need to reconnect back to the rhythms of the planet, back to the needs of our people, back to taking care of our health, back to taking care of our neighborhoods, making our neighborhoods green and growing and thriving. So it can be done through agriculture. We need to get back to it so we can heal ourselves.
I love it. I love it. So what do you think? What do you think is the reason that we pulled away from it so much? With you know, all the change in mindset towards our food, our appreciation for being able to grow it, but also the nutrients that's present in our food. Why have we turned our backs on it?
We turned our backs. You know, our parents, you know, they left, they migrated from the South, and they went to these cities looking for better jobs, better education, fair treatment. And so we moved to Boston, we moved to Chicago, Detroit, and LA, and things like that to get away from that. But what they were looking for a better path for their children. And so I think we kind of got lost a little bit, though. Sometimes we got a little bit educated, and we really begin to lose what is really important. And whoever controls our food source is in control of us. If they decided to stop shipping food to our neighborhoods, could we really take care of our people and our needs?
It'd be a big problem. And we've seen food shortages before. They're even talking about a possible food shortage coming down the pipeline as a result of the COVID and everything that's going on, and all the other plans in place, you know, that we know and don't know about. So, it's something that we need to have it on the forefront, and it's our culture, you know. And I always say our culture is our cure, because it is. If we move away from our culture in any way, shape, or form, then we lose the essence of the ability to preserve ourselves.
Yes, ma'am. And so, like, I'm glad you pointed out that we, you know, this pandemic, we were going, everybody was in a frenzy looking for food and all this, and we would go to supermarkets, and certain essential items were not there, and we were like panicking. And so, like, if we had this knowledge of how to grow, and we should be doing it all the time anyways, we would never have panicked. You know, my father and our parents were children of the Depression. They understood what it was like to not have, and therefore they created their own, they grew their own food. They didn't depend on their open enemy to feed them. And that's where we are today.
Food sovereignty.
Food sovereignty.
Right. So we can look towards ourselves versus towards all of the stores to supply for us, you know, and also those that, you know, the quality, those that don't care about the quality of food, you know, it's imperative that we feed our families.
And I like that. So, you know something, today, I'm going to rename my class to Seeds of Sovereignty.
Okay,
that's the new name.
I love
Seeds
that.
of Sovereignty. And so what we're going to be talking about, taking control of our food systems starting today. That's what we're going to be calling Seeds of Sovereignty.
Seeds of Sovereignty. Y'all hear that? So at the Liberated Minds Expo, catch Brother Uriah with Seeds of Sovereignty. He has changed it right here on Queen Taese, the Liberated Minds frequency. This is the vibration that's happening right now as we transform, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And you're really going to be in for a treat. I've known Brother Uriah for a long time, And he has been steadfast on this mission, making sure we get the information. You know, he created a curriculum for our youth, which is also valuable for our adults as well.
Yeah.
And it's a full curriculum around agriculture, around growing our food. So for those of you who are looking for science curriculums, you know, it dives into our story, you know, or people say history, I say our story. It dives into many different components. And I know even with the classes that you give, you talk about the cycles of the seasons, you talk about the moon, you talk about all these different elements that a lot of times we don't hear. Tell us a little bit about that, because I know you'll be sharing some of that at the expo.
Excellent, excellent. I'm glad you brought that point up. We have disconnected from the universal order of the planet. We're not in tune with the times and seasons, the moon phases, the electromagnetic vibration that comes from the earth. We're disconnected from it. And now we're trying to figure out what's wrong with us. Why am I sick? Why am I aching? What's going on with my hair? And so all these things tie into being in tune with the earth, planet Earth. So this is what we need to do to get back in. And agriculture is definitely just the beginning of it, but it will give us balance that we need to have. We need that balance.
And it's interesting, I had one of my children who was having some health challenges at the homeschool, one of my babies, but he's been with me for years. And there was a point in time where he started having seizures. And he went to a holistic doctor, and his mother, who's just an amazing woman and very diligent on making sure that she goes the natural route with things.
Wow.
One of the things that she learned, that she shared, is that the doctor said he needed to walk in the soil. That was a big, you know, when you think of seizures, who goes, you know, to the solution of walk in the soil, take off your socks and shoes and walk in the earth, because he needed some grounding.
Wow.
And the healing properties that come from the earth.
Yeah.
And also there was essential oils and other things that were infused in the whole regimen, right?
Yes.
It was multiple things, but walking in the earth was one of them, which is something that we rarely do. We walk around on the concrete, you know, even when we go to the park, we have our sneakers or our sandals on. And that's one of my favorite things, just to kick off my shoes and walk in the soil. I encourage that for my children. And, you know, they go outside in the yard sometimes and they play, and they're out there with no socks, no shoes, no shirts, my son. They just got their shorts on, and they're just enjoying nature, because they are a part of nature as well, you know?
Yes, ma'am. And so, like, I'm glad you mentioned that. I applaud that doctor for saying, go get ground, touching the soil with their hands. It grounds you. We live in an electromagnetic soup where we have Wi-Fi, cell phones. We have all these 5G networks and all this other stuff that's detrimental to our health. It takes us off balance. So touching the soil, being outside, leave your cell phone in the house and just be outside in the sun, getting the vitamin D that we need from that sunlight. We need all these things. These are things that we need. And so, like, right now I'm sitting in my house and the AC is on. I need to go out. And you know, Queen, regularly we speak, I'm out walking. And we need to recharge our batteries, our holistic batteries. And agriculture is just one way that we can do it. And it's a big portion of our life. We're so disconnected. And this is the opportunity for our children to get those habits. And one other thing I do want to mention is that there's nothing more empowering than seeing fruit or vegetables that you have grown.
Absolutely.
Okay? Just seeing like,
it's a
wow.
Great feeling.
Yes. Oh, I grew these from seed, or we're eating something I grew. That is an empowering feeling. And so this is one of the ways that we gain our sovereignty back. This is the one way that we sow seeds of sovereignty, is by growing our own food. And so, look, I'm excited. I'm happy to be part of this movement. And this is how we're going to do it. We need to change our minds, okay? And so I think that I'm inviting everybody who's listening to this to be a part of this movement. You know, regain our sovereignty back. It's time to let go of some of these shenanigans we've been dealing with. Look, we were wrestling with this Wi-Fi here.
Something's supposed to be so simple, right?
Something's supposed to be simple, right? But and just agriculture is also too a community thing. You have so much, you grow so much, you have to share it. You know,
Yes.
I'm regularly giving
Yes.
away vegetables, and please take some of this. People are giving me things, and it builds community. And that's what we
Yes.
need today, community.
And
I
that's
think
part of our
everybody would agree.
sovereignty, right? Working together,
Yes.
collective
Yeah.
efforts. I mean, that's the foundation of it, you know. So what do you say in terms of the expense? Sometimes feel like, you know, people feel as if it's going to be an expensive experience. It's cheaper just to go buy the food. What's your thoughts on that?
You know something, first of all, like one of my classes I taught, I had to show everybody that, look, George Washington Carver was a big proponent of recycling. All these water bottles that we bring in the house, use those as pots. Use your egg cartons as pots. Learn how to compost. Learn how to use coffee grounds as part of your soil structure. You know, these are things that people, we've kind of forgot how to recycle, and we have to rush out and buy stuff. Now, some places you might have to buy some seeds if you haven't been saving seeds, but there are places where you get seeds, they're less than $2. They're like four for $1. I was in one store the other day, and they were really inexpensive. Now we just need the knowledge how to germinate those seeds and to use what's around us already to grow what we need. Okay.
Right. And so when we're talking about homeschooling, you know, whether we're homeschooling or not, I don't like to just categorize and say homeschooling is the only way. Of course, I'm a huge advocate of it, being a homeschool parent for 20-something years and seeing the success of it. But the importance is that when it comes to curriculum, we have to infuse more than just the other academic subjects. We have to also infuse our spirituality, you know, our health and wellness. And this is a huge part of health and wellness, but it also touches on science. It touches on our story. It touches on math. You know, when we talk about educating our children, we want to make sure that, you know, when we're touching on one subject matter, that should be done in a holistic way where we can learn all the different subjects. They call it unit studies now, right? We can touch all of the various subject matters in one topic. And so we have to be creative with that. And it helps to create a living experience, a living curriculum, not just something that's in the textbook. As we know, you have your workbooks and the things that you've created, but now you can take that information and you can actually go outside and create a garden, or, you know, begin your, you know, sustainable living in a sense. Just from the textbook. You can do more research. You can watch YouTube videos. You can, you know, get more books, posters. We can expound on it the way we want to, so our children can know this as their normalcy. You know, they're saying the new normal. Well, this has to be the new normal. Our way of life and living. It's a liberation lifestyle, I like to say. Liberation lifestyle. That's what we are. You know, that's what Liberated Minds is about. It's not a play. We got to get real with it. We have to bring these practices into our daily lives and living, and, you know, make the most of it. Our children have to. They have to know nothing other than we can do for ourselves. We do it. We've been doing it. It's nothing new. The world has come to us for spices, for herbs, for food, for thousands of years. And so we are the forerunners. We are the greatest merchants on the planet. All the different things that we've contributed, it is, like you said, it's in our DNA.
It's in our DNA. And you know, like agriculture is an essential skill. So this is like, you know, like we were, like you mentioned, the spices, and everybody came to us for this. We were the original builders. And so like, you know, these are essential skills. But today, somewhere we lost the essential skills, this applicable knowledge. How do you fix this? How do you grow that? You know, even if you don't know how to grow something, at least the principles of how to grow food. And so we've lost these things, and today we need to get them back. And I see, I do see a movement. One thing I do want to mention too is, see, big agriculture, who we depend on, is failing. They're failing. They were not able to get food on our shelves. They were not able to stock the shelves at these grocery stores that we depend on. They had to kill all these livestock. So like, who had to step in that place was the small growers.
Yes, indeed.
So this is, we have to understand, our children need to understand that agriculture is the engine of business, is the major engine, is the source of all wealth. And so like even in Georgia right now, most farms are less than 10 acres. They're not big like they used to be. Everything is scaling down so that a family can run an operation and feed a community. So we have to get out of this concept of like, you know, waiting for big agriculture to solve all these problems. We are the solution. So this is what agriculture does. It causes us and our children to think solution-minded and not like have our hands out. Well, how come this and how come? No, we are the solution. Let's do this.
That's right. That's right. And you know, for those who control our food supply, they control everything of us.
Yes.
Because, you know, if we're not in a position to feed our families, to feed our communities, then that means, like you said, we have to rely on others to do that. We have the resources, we have the knowledge of those in the community like yourself who have that information to share with us. The training, I know you come out and you help people put gardens in, and not only that, but you're teaching and you're educating along the way. You work with the youth, and you know, children have fun, adults have fun working with you, learning. You know, it's not something boring where you're just sitting up there lecturing, but it's very engaging. You know, I've taken part, and it's exciting, and it should be exciting. The fact that, you know, we have the opportunity to further reconnect with our culture and who we are, and at the same time, you know, we're being empowered with food that is more nourishing. You know, it's not depleted of the minerals. We're learning about how to make our soil more rich. You know, and our children are learning healthy eating. You know, it doesn't matter what you grow up to become, right? In whatever profession you choose, if your health is not on point, because you can't enjoy doing what you do. You can't enjoy life if you're sick and you're not well. So that is a huge component that we have to pass forward, is the health and wellness. And that should be infused in all of our curriculums. Even if your children are in the public school decides, you know, from this time to this time, this is what we want them to know. Well, as a parent, you have to decide from this time to this time, this is what I want you to know. And so even if they're in school, you have the opportunity to still put that food, that nourishment of life, of information, of experience into your children. You have the opportunity, you have the power to be in the driver's seat. So I wanted to put that out there to all of you, that this is going to be something like never before. And we started out with Let's Grow, and we moved to Seeds of Sovereignty.
There we go.
Second, you see the transformation right there before your eyes. So I want to encourage you all, you got to come out. First of all, this expo is the first one that will be virtual. We've been going for 9 years, and you know, COVID is not stopping this. You know, we got to keep it moving. If anything, this is a wake-up call for all of us to see the reasoning that we need to educate our own, that we need to do for ourselves, that we need to come together, not just in community, but also just the mindset, the way that we think, because it's the frequency, the liberated mind frequency, I like to say, right? There
Excellent.
is a global unification that we naturally have, because as we are resisting here in the United States, we see over in Africa. You know, I used to say, well, what's going on? They don't understand like what's happening and now I'm like, they're like, okay, you don't want to give us the farms back that you took, we burning them down. You know, give it back. It belongs to us. It was stolen. It's a different vibration that's happening right now, that we have to ride that frequency, and we have to raise children who have cognition of what's happened, what's going on, that they can tie, you know, our culture and the essence of who we are to our power, to our strength, to know that is the true power, self-identity, knowing our greatness, knowing from where we've come, and also knowing where we're going. This is about creating a new reality. So come out to the 2020 9th annual Liberated Minds Black Homeschool and Education Expo by Uriah, Yisrael. This is generations in, y'all. This is not play. We've been doing this. This has been passed down. And that's something that we're losing, the transmission of culture. We have to pass it forward. And so I'm just so pleased and elated to have you another year here at the Expo, sharing and just giving of your love first, your energy, and then your expertise. And this is something that will help to sustain families for lifetimes, for generations. And so I'm just proud, I'm happy. I want everybody to go on to the website, liberatedmindsexpo.com. If you don't know, it's liberatedmindsexpo.com. Follow us on Facebook, same thing, the Liberated Minds Black Homeschooling Education Expo. We're on IG, liberated_minds_expo. You can also look up Queen Taese, QUEENTAESE. Follow this, because Liberated Minds belongs to us. You know, we put the resources in as a collective, and we pull them out as we need them as a collective. So this is not a one-person thing. This is not, you know, I am because we are. And this is Ubuntu, right? Ubuntu. This is the aspect, and I love my sister Alicia, who speaks about that so amazingly. She gives presentations and she goes deep into what Ubuntu means and the power of it. And a lot of this we learned during our Kwanzaa time, but these are principles that we have to exercise each and every day. Wow. So my thing is, you know, welcome again this year. Sign up for Seeds of Sovereignty. Yeah, you might see Let's Grow on the website right now. ASAP. Seeds of Sovereignty by Uriah, Yisrael. You are truly in for a treat. Yeah. And any last words you would like to share?
No, look, and I'm excited. You got me fired up. I feel like going on some laps or doing something. So look, I'm looking forward to this. And like Queen said, listen, come on, come all, young, old, and learn, get these seeds of sovereignty that are needed today. And let's do this. All right.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I want to reiterate to everybody that the Liberated Minds Expo is $25 for 3 days. Over 40 master classes. Where are you going to go and get that? This core information, and it's a vibrational weekend. It's going to be monumental as so many of us fellowship. And even though we're not in person, we know as African people, our energy, it is, you know, it travels. We will be feeling the vibration, the frequency. I'm already feeling it, connecting with everything. It took me a minute to get there because I was like, wow, we're not going to be able to meet. And, you know, it's just so powerful when we get together. But you'll have an opportunity. Will you have your workbooks for sale on the vendor marketplace as well?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Good. So you'll be able to purchase those. We also will have a multitude of other amazing virtual vendors. The information and the people. You know, you will have an opportunity to connect with other people. We also will have different forums and things going on. So it's just about connecting. It's about loving on each other. With all this experience, you know, I know for a lot of us, it's slowed us down. For some, it has been extremely traumatic. But if nothing else, it has brought us closer together. And we need to ride with that. We need to keep flowing with that. So I thank you for joining us. And we will see you at the Liberated Minds Expo. For those of you who have not registered, please hurry up and go to www.liberatedmindsexpo.com. The tickets will be $25, I believe, for another week, and then they will be going up to $35. So go on and get your ticket now. Save a little bit of money, and you know, we're gonna make it happen. We're gonna keep it going forward. So Madasi, much love to all of you out there. I appreciate you watching, and please like the video, subscribe to the Liberated Minds Frequency, who will be bringing you jewels and gemstones of people, of knowledge, and of experience. So thanks for watching, Madasi.
Okay.